I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by The Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Friday night races, July the 27th. 7 races on tap, starting at 7 o'clock. So our first Friday night live card. It's always a lot of fun, a lot of young kids out. Nicer for the horses.
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
Cool, especially with this heat wave that's going on. The horses and trainers and customers will enjoy the cooler temperatures.
We do get a different crowd out. It takes me back to my youth running on Friday nights. I like it. We do run on Friday nights throughout the month of August. We do have 7 races, Mike mentioned, on tap. First on tap is a $4,000 non-2 event for 3-and-up colts and geldings, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 6 in here. I went to the 4 Forster's horse, Russian Thrill. Sprinting broke his maiden for 4 fairly comfortably by almost 5. Came back, a good effort, did all the heavy lifting on the head end the whole way. They didn't go crazy fast, but I just don't see a lot of other speed in here. I think he gets the lead. He's recently a gelding. He's had the ultimate attitude adjustment. That's not going to hurt his chances. I can't really see anybody that can go with him in here. I think he gets the lead and is going to be tough to pass. Like a Russian Thrill on top of Timber King, who seems to always run second or third. He was behind Russian Thrill in that last one. I could see him run second in here, and I threw in Cherokee War Chant for third. He doesn't really want to sprint, but I thought he was the best of the rest. 4-1-5.
I agree with Russian Thrill. A good effort last time. Humphrey Lad was just the better horse that day. It just seemed, Russian Thrill seemed to be pinned down on the inside. Didn't seem as comfortable as he was in his other race when he was kind of on the outside. You're right, there's no speed in the race. He should get it. It's his race to win or lose. I put the 6 Storm Rocket, 2 maidens in here. Julie Wicks has opted to run a couple of maidens in this non-2, but Storm Rocket ran good against Coat of Arms. That was a fast heat, and this horse was an easy second that day. He's not discreet. He went blinkers off last time, and I thought the horse ran very well. I thought this horse was a good, perhaps a second horse behind Russian Thrill.
Gets a big weight break there, too.
And I agree with Timber King. Let's put him in his 3rd spot.
Yeah,
4,
he shows
6, and 1 in the Friday night opener on race number 2. Feature race of the night, 6 $25,000 claimers going a mile on a 16th. I ended up on the 6 Jaminati. He was claimed for 35, does resurface for 25. But that's not a surprise with these conditions, the people that have the new connections that have the horse. But there was no 35s going, just kind of, a lot of the $35,000 horses are in stakes races now and doing well, like Calgary Caper. And,
exactly.
It's amazing how the older horse division has changed. But Jaminati's in a good spot. He lost to a stablemate 2-back Calgary Caper. If he runs that race, he's got to be really tough. Yeah. I put the 3 Horse Square Dancer. He's always tough at the 25 level. He just finished winning. This race has come up tougher, I think, on paper for Square Dancer, but still, it was a nice win. It was his first win in a couple of years, so he got a much-needed confidence boost. And I put the 4 Sunset Drive. He's not a bad horse. He lost last time, didn't get the best of trips at all. I think he'll get a better trip in this race. I think he'll lay 3rd behind the 5 and 6. I think 5 and 6 go. Sunset Drive has enough speed to get into the 3rd spot. And he might be, he lost by 3 lengths to Square Dancer last time, but he's in the mix. He's been freshened up a little, and I thought he was a good alternative, maybe to price. I went 6, 3, and 4.
I agree with Jaminati on top. As you mentioned, good connections here. Great to have Bob Chima back in the game. He hasn't had horses for a few years, but he had beautiful horses. Dancing All-Star, True Metropolitan, a lot of nice horses over the years. Hasn't had any for a couple of years. Great to have Bob back in the game. I think he lands in the winner's circle here with his recent claim, Jaminati. He's got a good style for this race. Going along. He's going to be out there. He's the one to beat. I put Sergeant Rick in the 2nd spot with Jon Snow. Jose Asensio starting to pick up some wins, I should say. Good for him. It says this horse was a step slow last time. That's putting it mildly. He got left by like 5 or 6. Still only got beat a length and 3/4 by Square Dancer. I can see him turning the tables on him today. I can see Sergeant Rick being very playable in here. And you're going to get a little bit of a price on him. And Square Dancer in the 3rd spot. I agree. Every time he's in for 25, he's tough. He just won this race fairly comfortably last time. But as I mentioned, Sergeant Rick kind of lost it at the break. So I think he could turn the tables on. 6, 1, and 3 for me. In the 2nd, on to the 3rd, 8,000 non-3 for 3 and up. Going 6.5 furlongs, field of 7. Well, these connections again, Enrique Gonzalez, Phil Hall, and Peter Redicott. Papa, coming out of the Santa Anita circuit, which is considerably tougher. We've seen horses that were getting beat for 25-20 down there. Be very tough here. They're aggressive with him. He still has a condition. They put him in for non-3. He's your horse to beat, absolutely. If he's all right, everything's okay with him, he wins this. Papa, Papa, Papa. On top for me, I had a fantastic command. Got beat by a stablemate, Run Harvey Run, last time. But that's a good effort. You know, he's running allowance races. Got down to non-3-8 and was very competitive. I think he's competitive again today. I put him in second. I threw in Mike Grayson. Won this heat, 2 starts back, was claimed by Mel Snow. He tried a 16, which was considerably tougher. Back in for 8, he should be respected. 6-3-2 for me.
Yeah, I didn't like anyone in here. Do I trust Papa, Papa, Papa? No. This horse hasn't run a lick so far this year, albeit against much better company. But the horse has beaten 1 horse in its 2 races, and a little concerned. Peter's brought a few horses here from Santa Anita. I know there was not a package, but he did purchase some horses.
Minor Heat. And
purchased some horses. He bought that horse early, but he's picked up some horses that people were selling, and Mark Glatt, had the horse down there. This has been a private acquisition for Peter, but I know they bought some horses to try and help the population here at Hastings, and kudos for doing that. But Papa, yeah, if the horse, looks like it worked well, 47-2, but he's got speed, but he still has to show the stamina that he did, back in early of 2017. But obviously an easier assignment. But the 5 Liquid Medal in for second. I thought ran a better than looked race last time. He really got nothing out of his first race. Obviously, he bled out, and tracked rail bled, so he got nothing out of that first one. Dropped in for 8,000. You see there was something going on with the bridle that race. There was something flapping around, and the horse was running off.
That's right, his bridle come loose.
And obviously it cost the horse. Only going to be 2 lengths for second. But essentially it was just his first start of the year. I think he'll get lost out of that race. He just ran away. And so maybe a better effort at a decent price. And I put the 3 horse, I agree, Fantastic Command for third. Good run last time. Good trip, though. Yeah. It was followed pretty much a stablemate and ran a good...
I forgot that about Liquid Medal. You're right. The bridle or something come undone, so that's one to watch.
Race number 4, maiden $4,000 fillies and mares going 6.5 furlongs. I wanted the 8 Cody's Honor. I liked the horse last time, and I wasn't really discouraged with the effort.
That's good.
Just didn't break well. And once you don't break well from the 1 hole, then you're covered up in behind horses. And the horse just was kind of one-paced the rest of the race behind Crafty Memory and Yes Please. I just think with an outside draw, hopefully a little bit better beginning for Cody's Honor. There is some speed in here. Turbocharged, showed speed on occasion. Spanish Dancer, Largo. There is some speed in the lineup, but I think Cody's Honor is good enough to get into a good spot. So I put her in the winner's circle. I put the 1 Bombay, dropping from 16,000 down for 4. Good run 2 back. Wasn't a great time again with fluctuation that day, but his race last time, once again, it was against $16,000 horses.
Yeah.
He's going to get a pace to run, or she's going to get a pace to run at. Enrique Gonzalez back aboard for John Snow. This horse has got a big chance, and I put the 3 horse Spanish Dancer in for third. Continues to run decent races, but just needs a good trip. Was in between horses last time. Really don't think she liked it. Just got to. You don't know how races are going to get drawn up, but I mean, hopefully she is not in between horses, because for these cheaper horses, it is quite intimidating.
Takes a lot out of them.
They just don't run their A race when they're kind of squashed and in tight. But that was where Spanish Dancer was last time, which is why maybe she didn't run her A race. But 8-1-3, I like Cody's Honor.
I went to Largo. I went to the Mark Cluche horse.
Yeah, I left the drop.
Yeah, she's taking a big drop coming out of maiden special weight, in for 4,000. Mark gets aggressive. Actually did this one of these races recently, and she got beat. That Crafty Memory Yes Please race. Yes Please was taking a similar kind of drop. Amadeo Perez, Mark Cluche on fire right now. This is a filly, second in the sales stake last year. Granted, it was only a 3-horse field.
Correct.
But he thought enough of her to run her back in the futurity, and she ran 4th that day. Maiden 25, maiden special weight this year, in for 4. I'm going to land on her. I agree with Bombay in second. She looks good. As you mentioned, not crazy fast times, but those are considerably tougher fillies she's running against with Jaina and Lookout
Sun Renita came back to win.
Yeah, exactly. Sun Renita come back. So Bombay for me in second. She's been running maiden special weights throughout most of her career, maiden 25s. Now she's in the maiden 4. She should be tough. And I put your top horse, Cody's Honor, out of the Rob Maben barn for the reasons you mentioned. It could be her turn. She's right there every time. She's going to break through one of these
seeing her getting off the rail.
Yeah, getting out.
The rail didn't do anything.
She had that great pose. She was 10 of 10 and then on the rail last time.
Running it's good.
So now
she wants to be outside.
Now she's on the 8 hole. 5, 1, and 8 for me in the 4th. On to the 5th. 3 and up 16, non-3. I'm going with a dropper here. Number 5, Silvertown of the Dino Condolinos barn. That race, if you can run back that race 2 back, granted it was sprinting, where he got beat a couple lengths by Dashing Dawn. I think he wins this race. He should be able to beat this field. Another one that's just run, this is a horse they bought for the BC Derby. They claimed him out of Keeneland a few years ago for the BC Derby, and has been running in, considerably tougher races throughout his career. Now he's in for 16. That was a wide open 25 last time he was in too. Now it's a 16 condition race. Silvertown for me. On top of Got My Mo, this is one of Glenn Todd's that he dropped in for maiden 8, dusted the field, win by 5 over Bow Chicka Wow Wow, who saw come back last weekend and win for 16. So I think he can. This isn't a crazy jump up for him. I think he could have won a maiden 16, that's for sure. And this would be the logical step for him. So he fits in here. Got My Mo, I think, is going to be tough in here. And who did I put in the third spot? Master Ewan, Rob Maben's horse, just won this race last time. It wasn't as tough as this race, but he did get DQ'd. So he saves the condition. He can run in here 2 more times. Did leave out Sanawar, which is probably a mistake, but I went 5-3-6.
Yeah, I didn't. Another race is very competitive. The 7, by the way, is out. Rogerio. This will be running on Sunday. I went Sanawar. I thought a decent effort, perhaps balanced a little bit. It was a little flat last time. Probably should have won the race with the trip that he had, and but just was pretty exhausted probably after that first up effort.
Yeah, his first race, he ran against horses that have been running 4 or 5 times. He ran a huge race, as you mentioned. He probably regressed a little bit.
Put away Great Blake and then held off Master Ewan and looked good coming down to the wire. But next time out, didn't run as ran okay. He was impeded late, but he was going to run 3rd. But it did not cost him the win or anything. But Sanawar, I think, good inside draw. He was 3 wide a lot of the trip, too. So I just think a better trip could be in order for Sanawar. And he's got the mile 16th race under his belt. 3rd start off a layoff is generally the best race on a cycle for horses. I put the 6 Master Ewan on. I'm going to right back to this horse as well.
He just won it.
Sat the trip, made a good run, just lugged in the lane and unfortunately impeded Sanawar.
That was a dodgy one, too. They could have left him up because it was right at the wire, and I don't think it really cost anybody a place.
It did not.
But he did interfere a little bit, so it could have gone either way.
I know I talked to the stewards about this, and I know a part of their reasoning is that they have to protect all the horses, like not just Sanawar, Mustachio, who ran 2nd. The people that bet on Mustachio. Yeah. Does Master Ewan win if Dennis has to pull on the outside line and keep him straight? And not impede Sanawar. Because he didn't win by much, half a length. Like, if he has to pull, and lose momentum, because you would lose momentum pulling on other horse. So you have to protect the people that bet on Mustachio at 20. They end up winning, as it turned out.
They took him down.
It's not just about Sanawar getting impeded. It was also about...
It worked out good for Maben. They took him down, he still won. Can't beat that guy.
I know. But Master Ewan ran a big race. Yeah. He's live again. And I agree, Silvertown, dreadful trip at an open 25 last time. Big drop in class.
Yeah, he was wide the whole way.
It was not good. And he'll be out there on the pace, probably with the 3 Got My Mo and Mustachio. So it should be a good pace, and that's kind of why I like Sanawar and Master Ewan. 2-6-5 for me in race number 5. On to the 6th race. I got a few scratches in here. I got a field of 11, but a bunch that have entered back.
Big old field.
The 1 Bluegrass Pride is out. The 4 Harvey Run is out. And the 9 BC Charlie are all entered back on a Sunday afternoon. I went to the 5 Satellite Storm, dropping. Going to be dangerous. Goes off of Lasix too, which is interesting. Good work, Tab. 111 and change, but still the horse has some quirks, and maybe this is where he belongs. He's out of conditions, and he had to drop in for 8 last year to get a win, but he beat Liquid Metal in his next start, but Liquid Metal's running for 8, so perhaps it was just an easy little.
Just where he belongs.
That's basically where the horse probably does belong. He's going to be tough to beat though. But the 11 horse Adichie, who's always dangerous. I don't mind the outside draw. Probably a little better for him to be on the outside than rather than the inside.
That's the thing. The 11 scared me, but now he's in the 8 hole, which is it's a big difference.
Way easier. And who did I put in for 3rd? The 3 Stormy Teen went to the Glenn Todd barn. It's been pretty popular. The Claim Box Stormy Teen. He's another one that runs good race. I thought those were your 3 best horses: 5, 11, and 3. That's the way I saw it.
I don't know much to add. I have the same horses. I did put Adichie on top. I originally had Bluegrass Pride. On top, as Mike mentioned, he's back in on Sunday, and the 11 hole scared me about Adichie, but as I just mentioned, now he's down to the 8. That's a big difference where you're going from the 8 to the 11. So I got Adichie on top. I agree, Satellite Storm taking a big plunge out of an optional 30 with Colterbury Crackdown, Captain Jones. Those are considerably tougher. In for 62.50. He's definitely one to keep an eye on in here, and I agree. The one that Glenn just claimed off Jim Brown, Stormy Teen. He's just a warrior. What is he? 11 for 16 lifetime in the money. He shows up every time.
He shows up. He's a cool horse.
Yeah, put him in your tries. 11, 5, and 3 for me in the 6th. On to the 7th. What is this? Maiden optional 20.
Optional 50. I don't
know
sorry,
optional 50.
Yeah, I know you're right, but it does say maiden optional 20. The purse is 20, but
it's actually
the claiming prices are in the brackets, which is kind of misleading. But
it is misleading. That's why. My apologies there. But basically, maiden special weight. Optional 50. There's only one horse.
Chef,
I think Chef is in for 45. That's the only horse in for money. So basically, kind of a maiden special weight here. And I did go to Chef. I thought a good second last time, going long behind Ace of Diamonds, who was a favorite. Figured to be a tough horse in there, and he was, and only beat Chef by a length and 3/4. And this is a horse that's been knocking on the door, going a mile 16. Second behind Lucky Ending. Fourth, only beaten 2 lengths behind Harry's Hammer and Ace of Diamonds last time. Another good second. He's right there, and this could be his day. I got Chef on top of McPherson's horse, Stone Carver. I don't mind this horse. He's going to be on the lead. He keeps running big races and kind of flattening out a little bit, but Hamill and McPherson always very dangerous together. Stone Carver for second for me, and Spokane's Gem just ran third behind Chef last time for Rob Gilker. Arojo rides. He should be dangerous too. Those are the 3 I like, and here I went 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, I agree with Chef. Chef's going to get a great pace to run at. You got the sprinter El Noble on the stretch out, who has speed. You got Spokane's Gem, who has speed. Spokane's Gem and Stone Carver both kind of dueled each other. There wasn't much between either one of them. They only like a neck apart at the end of the race, and they were just looking each other in the eye the entire trip. You got Fireman, blinkers on, and he shows speed. Sprinting, he was chasing the Chances Are last time. So my point being, there should be a pretty good pace in here. And Chef, this is today's the day. If he doesn't win,
come on, Chef.
You got to get her done. The 3 Spokane's Gem ran a good. You're splitting hairs between Spokane's Gem, Stone Carver, and anything that come out of that race, the Ace of Diamonds race. But I put him in for second. I put Speculator for third. I thought he was a little too close to the hot pace. Really flattened out after that. I thought his race prior to that in that optional 50 was very good and better than it looked on paper because he was wide the entire trip and wasn't disgraced by Harry's Hammer, Ace of Diamonds, and Stone Carver that day. And he was only like length and 3/4 behind Chef, and it was only his first race of his life. Because he didn't get anything
out of that first one.
Right. Yeah. So, but last time, a little too sharp, sitting 2 lengths off of 46 and 4, opening half, and he flattened out. And but I think he's got a good work, and he might be better sitting farther back off the pace. 5, 3, 6 for me in the Friday night finale. That'll do it for our analysis of the card. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our selections. Back in race number 1, I did go to the 4, Russian Thrill. I'm going to go 4, 6, 1. Race number 2, I went to the 6, Jam and Addy. Going to try the old 6, 3, 4. Race number 3, going to go back to a 6. I don't love this one as much, but a little risky. The 6, Papa, Papa, Papa over the 5, Liquid Metal, and the 3, Fantastic Command. 4th race, the start of the late pick 4. I'm going to go to the 8, Cody's Honor, 8, 1, and 3. Race number 5, went to a very difficult race 5. I went to the 2, Santa War. I'm going to go 2, 6, and 5. Race number 6, I went to the 5, Satellite Storm over the 11, Aditya. I'm going to go 5, 11, and 3. And in the finale, as we just touched on, I went to the 5, Chef. Going to go 5, 3, and 6.
On to my picks, we go back in the first. I agree with Mike on the first few. I agree with number 4, Russian Thrill over the 1 and the 5. The second, Jam and Addy, number 6 over the 1 and the 3. And the third, number 6, Papa, Papa, Papa over the 3 and the 2. We disagree in the 4th. I'm going to the 5, Largo over the 1 and the 8. The 5th, I'm going to go to the 5, Silvertown over the 3 and the 6. And in the 6th, I'm going to go to the 11, Aditya over the 5 and the 3. And the nightcap, I'm back with Mike on number 5, Chef over the 4 and the 3.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoy the Friday night program. Once again, the first race goes at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it out to the track, of course, the Derby Bar and Grill will be open, nice and cool out here on a Friday night.
Yeah, we got our air conditioning on.
Air conditioning always, and always drink specials and food specials. So do come on out to the Derby Bar and Grill if you're in the South Surrey area and not heading to the track. Our next live card will be Sunday. First race at 1:50. It'll be BC Alumni Day. There'll be some stars of the past of the BC Lions, Canucks, Whitecaps, and some Jocks.
It's also Corgi Day. We're running the Corgis on Saturday.
Lots of fun. I can't wait till we get
to a big day.
I can't wait to Jack Russells or something. We got to get into them.
Handicappers. Yeah, run handicappers.
But yeah, the Corgis will be in attendance racing between our 7 race program on Sunday, which does get underway at 1:50. Once again, thanks for tuning in. On behalf of Drew, we look forward to seeing you next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do